Is celibacy necessary for the spiritual path? Can semen retention unlock powerful forms of energy inside us? Well, these questions have been hotly debated, but the answer may surprise you. In this video, we're going to explore the benefits of semen retention and how you can use it to unlock your full spiritual potential. You see, YouTube has been popping up with lots of videos about monk mode and semen retention, and I found this very interesting. Now, I recently became a brahmachari, which is a yogic version of a monk. Now, I have no interest in doing this for the rest of my life. I'm just doing it for an extended period of time so that I may see and understand and feel the benefits that semen retention may have on us. See, in the past, for centuries really, all of the spiritual disciplines and spiritual seekers of those disciplines have practiced celibacy, self-control and self-discipline. They understood the significance of sexual energy and its role in spiritual growth. Now, unfortunately, in our modern world, these practices have been overshadowed by the distractions of materialism and instant gratification. It's a lot easier to eat a piece of cake or go and buy yourself some luxury goods, isn't it? To get that nice feeling inside. It's a lot easier to do that than to keep your seed in, because that requires a little bit of, grit. Now, as a result, we have lost touch with our inner selves and our spiritual potential. But it's not too late to rekindle that flame of spirituality perhaps in you. Hi, I'm Jamie and I run the Yogic tradition, and we've built a school for higher education and spiritual development. It's called the Yogic tradition. And we've helped hundreds of aspirants navigate the confusion and the tough challenges of a spiritual awakening by giving people the proven structure and the practices to make their awakening a joy instead of a fight. And if you want to see exactly how we do that, you can sign up for our free training series down below. So let's talk about the daily challenges that many of us face in our real lives. And how this is applicable. And it's really only applicable for men. Nature's not made us the same. Men have semen, and that semen in a man, the man has the potentiality to lift that up and transmute it into a powerful form of energy. So as a man, because this is who I'm really talking to, do you ever feel perhaps depleted, exhausted or unmotivated in life? And do you maybe even struggle to start new projects? You have all of these wonderful ideas, but perhaps not the gumption or the pep to follow through with these ideas. Do you struggle to stick to projects also that you start because you constantly feel disinterested and completely uninspired? Well, if this is the case, then this may be because you're letting too much of that seed out too frequently. It is a massive energy drain. There is no doubt that it requires more energy for the body to create a sperm cell than it does a hair follicle. And this is because there is the seed of life, or the potentiality of life within it. But what if you could be putting that seed to work in your system in a different way? Now, without the right kriyas, kriya just means yogic action, basically a flow. The effects of these things will be very limited, but let's give you an idea of some of the benefits you'll receive from semen retention. Firstly, increased energy. Massively. Semen retention conserves physical and mental energy, and this can be directed towards our spiritual practices such as our yoga, our pranayamas and self-reflection. Secondly, you'll have a heightened awareness. Semen retention can increase awareness and sensitivity to subtle energy forms, allowing for a deeper connection with oneself and the universe. More powerfully, perhaps, in our practices is enhanced concentration, but not just in our practices. If we're building something outwardly for the world, like a business, then semen retention can improve mental clarity and focus, enabling deeper and more profound states of meditation and focus on external things as well. Of course, we'll also have an expanded sense of consciousness, because semen retention can expand consciousness and facilitate spiritual experiences, which will lead to a deeper understanding of ourselves and the universe. But most powerfully, I'd say, is a greater sense of self-control. We're here to master ourselves. This is a school, this life, for us to master ourselves. And of course, semen retention requires self-discipline and self-control. It means no porn, you know, and this can lead to a great sense of mastery over our thoughts and our emotions, over these powerful sensations in the body. But also, of course, it can mean improved relationships that are more intimate and more sexually fulfilling. And finally, when it comes to the ladies, it's almost as if at times they can smell your semen retention on you. It will lead to increased confidence and, for some reason, increased stares. And who knows why that is. But semen retention can boost our self-esteem and our confidence, leading to a greater sense of purpose and direction in life. And that's because it gives us this feeling of vigor and vitality within the system that is usually just replaced with tiredness, boredom and inertia if we're letting that seed go way too much. Now, at the start of our path, semen retention can actually be suppression, and we don't want that. So don't create unreasonable expectations of yourself as to how many days you can go without it. It's not a competition, because part of our journey is about accepting our sexuality with our quirks and the way that we are. So make sure you've done that work first, or this journey's not there for you yet, I would say, because you don't want this to turn into some mental ideation. But also make sure, you know, that your semen retention isn't becoming an avoidance of intimacy with your partner, because this isn't what this is about either. So make sure you're doing this for the right reasons. So why are we wanting to do all of this anyway? Well, because semen retention is where your superpowers are, men. Our path is about purification and to increase our prana, and this will allow us to be full of vitality and vigor, like we talked about earlier, but will also allow us the possibility of samadhi. Samadhi is coming into union with the infinite nature of yourself. And what I'm learning is there's no real chance of that without a huge amount of prana in the system, and by holding in your seed, you will begin to create a huge amount of prana in the system. Now, by adopting mindful and a conscious approach to your sexual energy, you can unlock your full spiritual potential, because you can transmute that powerful seed into a wonderful form of energy in your system. It's not about suppression or avoidance of our sexual proclivities or the ways that we are sexually, but rather becoming aware of what your sex is about for you, mainly, you know, and exploring that. And when we become willing to be aware of our thoughts around sex, the stories, the fantasies, then it can become an exploration rather than suppression. So this requires a little bit of maturity. Essentially, sex is intrinsically linked with the mind, especially in the West, and we're wanting to become aware of this so that we can rid our attachments around it and set ourselves free. Because if we can control and gain control of our life force, our life energies inside our body, then we gain control of our life. We've mastered ourselves, and that is the true power of semen retention. So as we begin holding in our seed and exploring ourselves deeper, we might be entering a state of spiritual maturity, and we're going to know what those signs of spiritual maturity are. So you can watch this video here that we made for you.